Unfortunately, for many of us living in northern New England, the regular mountain bike season has come to an end and the snow is here to stay. Due to the unusually early snow, I wasn't able to ride for a solid month. Once the cabin fever had started to set in, I decided it was time to hit the road, seeking a warmer climate. But that was only after I fixed my rear triangle, which I had broken in a previous video. On my way down south, I stopped in Roanoke, Virginia to catch up and ride with my good friend from college, Buffalo Man. You may remember seeing him in my wheel mill video where we rode at an indoor bike park. During my stay, we converted an uprooted tree into a janky wall ride. This is something I've been wanting to try for several years, but I've never found the ideal tree. Equipped with a foldable shovel and a trowel, we got to work. Once we had the feature roughed in, it was time to give it a go. However, unbeknownst to me, I was about to damage my bike yet again.
Alright, let's give it a go.
This is a price you have to pay when you try stupid things. During the crash, my rotor had smashed a rock, and it was pretty mangled. Not wanting to pass up this opportunity, I did what I had to do to get my bike back up and running. I don't think TRP would approve of my fix, but it got the job done.
Perfect.
After a little TLC, it was time to give it another go.
Yes. Dude, that looked really good.
Once complete, we buried our tracks to prevent further erosion, and I hit the road. This time, I was headed to Asheville to see the infamous trouble double that had taken out Seth.
Oh.
Before doing anything else, it was time for me to adjust my rotor. Alright, since I changed the rotor in the back, that means I need to break it in with new pads, so I'm going to do that really quickly with a few slow stops. You want to do about 15 to 20 of them just to make sure the rotor's bedded in correctly. Skipping this process can lead to squeaky brakes, as well as brakes that don't stop very well.
Alright, there we go.
Now, I was ready to check out Berm Creek.
Alright, there's a drama drop. Believe it or not, I have never actually hit this. So we're probably going to change that today. One of the sketchier things about this drop is how skinny this run-in is, because right here on video you don't look that high off the ground, but because of how skinny it is relative to the height, it definitely gives it a little bit more of an intimidating factor when you go to hit it.
This is wild to not have any warm-up for. Dude, no warm up.
Almost looks like we built it properly.
I think skills got mad, Phil. We got mad skills. Mad skills.
While we were back there, I had to hit the SickNic table.
I see what you mean about the entrance being a little...
After getting a feel for how Berm Creek rode, it was time to do a little brainstorming to see how we could make a few improvements.
We'll do a little brainstorming. Well, even if you were to carve like the jug handle.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's something I could even work on, even with my arm and shoulder the way it is. The question is, what goes on after here? You really want to build a landing for this.
Make a little gap into whatever we decide to do with this. Not like a huge gap, but just like a little kicker into the main course.
Alright, so the thought right now is to move the lip back a little bit and then strain out the landing a little bit more. Make it the jump a little bit smaller and make the landing a little bit more friendly to coming into that next berm, because right now it sends you a little far to the inside of that berm, so we're landing very far in the edge, which can be a little bit tricky. So that's step one. Step two will be making the landing for the SickNic table and have it be able to flow into the main line. We had one day to get this project finished and only 2.5 sets of working hands. Needless to say, we had our work cut out for us. Kevin and I started by working on the lip for the trouble double. We moved lip back a little bit, and then we also widened it a little bit. Now we're gonna go work on the landing and make the landing a little bit wider so you can set up for the turn a little bit better. But also gonna keep in mind that we eventually want to do something coming from the SickNic table.
They are getting rid of the rocks because they weren't exactly friendly.
Any place you can potentially crash, there's no need.
While we were busy on the landing, Seth had started the reroute for Goodman's Ledge. This would make it easier to get into the drop and give you more time to set up.
But I do want to make a little skinny piece of single track that comes up and around, basically give it another full 2 feet from what we had. I'm kind of working at half strength because I can really only do stuff with this arm. I can use this arm to kind of guide it from the back, but really I'm doing all the work with this arm. So, but it feels good to be out here getting stuff done.
All right, so we've done a pretty good job here. One thing we're running into is this soil is very wet. When we go to pack it, it gets all clumpy like this. That's where a flat shovel comes in hand. You can do the pack and slide.
This helps compact the soil while preventing anything from getting stuck to the shovel.
Now we're gonna work on the entry to the berm. We're probably gonna take some of the dirt or grass right there, pull it to where Kevin's standing, and make the entry to the berm a little bit wider. It'll essentially help you funnel into the berm a little bit better.
By digging up the inside of the berm and placing that material on the outside, we're essentially working at twice the speed because we're widening it in 2 directions in one shot. All right, it's coming along pretty nicely. We reshaped the berm slightly, and so now we're smoothing out the transition from the landing into the berm, so it's a nice smooth transition while keeping in mind the drainage spot right by Kevin. It's a little bit more work, but works out pretty well. It was time to get started on a SickNic table landing and make a feature flow into the main course. It's almost as if Seth really likes using a rototiller. So what Seth is doing behind us is breaking up the grass and dirt and kind of making a homogeneous mixture, which should make it easier to shape. And then we can take the rake and just kind of comb through the dirt and pull out any strands of grass. That way we can compact it a little bit easier than if... At this point, things were really starting to come together. All we had left to do was finish this feature. Starting to feel a little bit tired. I think we've been working all day, but still got enough energy to finish this job. How about you?
I mean, we're gonna be here, man. As soon as we wrap this up, hit it one time, I'm headed on the road myself, so. I tried to pack it down a little bit. So we get our stall up.
All right, so check this out. We got the double, come back up, do a little switchback, then you hit the Goodman's Ledge reroute into the SickNic table drop, and come right back to this. I think it came out pretty good.
What a day. I am beat, but we have one thing left. We need to test ride it. See how it actually came out.
You get the chill coming down there and all the way around, and I don't want to be in a situation.
Where's the piece at now,
Be able to hit this a little bit better. I was proud of the amount of work we were able to get accomplished in one day, especially being able to help out an injured friend. It felt good to finally be able to give back to a friend who's helped me a lot along the way. After riding the course for a little bit, there are a few tweaks we should probably make. The landing for the SickNic table drop is a little close to the drop. We could either fix this by shaving down the SickNic table drop itself, or lengthening the landing, but we'll save that for another day. That being said, there's still a few more things that I wanted to try.
Alright, so I've hit the drop a few times. Now I actually want to try to roll this, which I think is actually harder. That's actually scarier than hitting the drop, so my intuition was a little bit right. Alright, there's one more thing I want to try off it. I have no idea how it's going to go, or if it's going to go. So I'm going to put you in slow-mo, just in case something funky happens.
My goal was to manual down the backside, but that didn't work out so well, so let's give it another go. That's more like it. To watch more videos where I ride with Seth, click the playlist in the top right hand corner. As always, my name is Phil Metz. Thanks for playing bikes with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.